Mount Thomas Police Station, Australie. Pardon, Madame l'agent. Excusez-moi si je vous ai fait peur.
Mr. Rocher, I assume?
Oui.
Right, I'm Sergeant Gallagher. Pleased to meet you.
You are Sergeant Gallagher?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting someone so beautiful.
No, I'm not beautiful. I'm a mess. You're not filming with it, eh?
I capture the unguarded moments, yes?
Right. Let me introduce you to Senior Sergeant Croydon. Here, come through.
Splendid. It's like Fargo.
Fargo?
Oh, it's a film?
Yeah, you know, with the pregnant cop. Guy ends up in the wood chipper.
Well, Mr. Rocher was after a certain amount of mayhem then.
No, I think he was just looking for a good story. None of us expected it to lead to a death.
So we're all going to be in this film?
I'm shooting a documentary on country policing. You are country police, are you not?
So everyone in France is going to be seeing this, are they?
Oh, no. I am French. But I work for a cable company in the States.
Hollywood, here we come.
Oh, it is not a very big company. Only 10, 15 million viewers.
Right, so, what do you want us to do?
Do what you do normally, and try not to look down the camera lens.
Well, Jonesy and I were just cleaning out the property cage, and it's amazing some of the things people bring in.
Why don't you film someone else? They're more interesting. Go on.
This guy brought in this set of false teeth once.
Et au contraire. What could be more interesting, combining motherhood with the danger of police work?
It's hardly dangerous. I'm non-operational till the baby comes.
I think you'll find this is a pretty quiet little town, not much of interest here.
Boss, there's a riot in Woodry.
Pas bien? A riot? Yes, we go. So, this is Widgery?
Yep, just 20 minutes from Mount Thomas and 1,000 miles from Cairn. It's got a one-man station under the overall control of Senior Sergeant Croydon. She said Grove Street, yeah?
Yeah, it's just down the end to the right.
Are there many riots in Widgery?
Well, there's Gossie, he's a bit of a riot.
Mostly just little disturbances, usually at the Bushranger Hotel on Grand Final night.
Who is this Gossie?
He's the local copper. And here we are.
For sale, isn't it? Not to you, it isn't.
Mais où est le riot?
Yep.
This is crap. Give it back here.
All right, what's the story?
He's selling his stereo my brother wants to buy. Simple.
Well, what's the problem, Mr...
McAllister. Ross McAllister. This bastard's the reason I'm having the sale in the first place.
My son bought this stereo fair and square. Now he won't hand it over.
Is that right, sir?
There's no law says I've got to sell it to him.
Well, technically he's right. He can sell or not sell to anyone he likes.
We're worth $500 new.
Yeah, well, now it's worth bugger all.
So what happened next?
Well, Constable Jones and I took Mr. McAllister and Sean Quinn back to the station.
Well, where was Senior Constable Goss?
No one knew then.
So you handled the matter yourselves?
Yeah, we should have the interview on tape here somewhere.
Mate, it was an accident. Can't help it on Butterfinger now, can I?
Yeah, well, it doesn't give you the right to go breaking his stuff.
Mate, McAllister reckons our family's scum of the earth. You'd be upset too.
But so you're the innocent victim in all this?
Mate, he was discriminating against us.
By not letting you buy your stereo?
Mate, the guy's selling all his stuff for nothing. Everybody's invited to the party except us.
Well, you could still be charged.
Go ahead. Well, nothing compared to what he done to me.
And what did he do to you?
Where'd you reckon I got this?
I smashed him over the head with a cricket bat.
The boy lost sight in his left eye, so you can't blame him for feeling victimised.
Sean Quinn tried to rob me.
Right, when was this?
About 6 months ago. 3 o'clock one morning, I wake from a dead sleep to find the little bastard coming through my bedroom door.
What, and the cricket bat just happened to be handy?
I have a right to defend myself.
Yeah, well, you must have hit him pretty hard.
He had a shotgun. What was I supposed to do? Let him kill me?
So was this Sean Quinn charged?
Come off it. The Quinns are a protected species.
Well, he had a gun, so surely there was...
Well, I told my story to the police. They weren't interested.
It's a little bit hard to buy, Mr. McAllister.
I spoke to Ian Goss about it on at least 5 separate occasions.
This Ian Goss is Senior Constable Gossie?
Yes.
And now to add insult to injury, Sean bloody Quinn is suing me for damages.
Thus the bargain basement garage sale.
I don't see what concern it is of ours. The case has been investigated.
Yeah, well, why didn't Gossie charge Sean Quinn?
Obviously, he didn't feel charges were warranted.
Well, Mr McAllister felt his life was in danger.
And the law says he can defend himself, but only if he uses reasonable force.
Yeah, well, Quinn had a shotgun. I mean, using a cricket bat sounds pretty reasonable
If
to
there
me.
really was a shotgun... Monsieur Rocher, this isn't going to work if I can't have a private conversation with one of my members.
But your Inspector Falcon-Price promised me full cooperation.
I'm sure he did, but we have to have some ground rules.
The last film I make was in Zimbabwe. They had ground rules there, too.
Just make sure you stay out of the way, Mr McAllister.
Yeah, what if I run into him in the street?
Will you cross to the other side?
Why should I? It's a free country.
I'm sure you wouldn't want to damage a civil case.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Gossie, you're in one piece.
Enfin, c'est le Gossie!
Huh? You were after me.
Yeah, come into my office, will you?
Who's the frog?
Just what was said at this meeting.
I asked Senior Constable Goss where he'd been that morning.
And he said?
That he'd been out helping one of the local farmers round up some stray cows.
He was supposed to notify D24 of what he was doing.
Sergeant Gallagher did make that point.
Well, did anything else come up?
I broached the subject of the assault on Sean Quinn. Senior Constable Goss explained it to my satisfaction.
But it would be true to say that some of your members were not quite so satisfied.
Apparently not.
So this Gossie is in trouble, yes?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm just a mushroom, mate.
You have fungus?
Oh, no, kept in the dark and fed on. Never mind.
It has something to do with that young man.
Sean Quinn?
Oui, Sean Quinn. I think Gossie is frightened of him.
No, he's just a pimply kid. Peach?
Yeah?
You ever hear of the McAllisterberg?
McAllister, no.
A guy from Widgery claims a kid named Sean Quinn broke into his place with a shotgun and the police weren't interested.
By police,
Well, the poor guy's getting sued because he defended himself against some scumbag burglar and Gossie did nothing.
Oh, you talked to Tom?
Well, he's not exactly going to call his old mate a liar, is he?
Hey, Goss. You got a sec?
Yeah, sure. As I told Tom, I investigated Billy Joe's complaints and found nothing in them.
Billy Joe?
McAllister. As in the song.
Ah.
You got to know the bloke. Done nothing but whinge ever since he moved into the Bronx. What was it? Public housing estate, what the locals call it.
Yeah, well, I might whinge too if I woke up and found someone in my bedroom with a shotty.
I never found any shotty.
You did a search?
Of course.
Thorough one?
You watch it, Missy.
So if Sean Quinn wasn't trying to burg the place, what was he doing?
Well, he just stumbled into the wrong house. He had a big night at the bushranger.
Oh, that's what he told you?
Yeah.
And you believed him?
Well, he was pretty rat-faced earlier on, I can tell you.
Have you had any dealings with him before?
You know what young blokes are. Get out of hand sometimes.
No, they certainly did this time.
Well, I'd lay that fair and square at McAllister's feet.
What, you reckon he lied about the gun?
Well, be generous, say was mistaken. Look, Sean Quinn ended up with a detached retina, and Billy Joe didn't have to do that. Now, I don't know about you blokes, but I've got a station to run.
Yeah, well, hey, Gossie, thanks for your time.
Well?
You heard him. He investigated.
What he did was avoid the issue. He's clearly biased against this McAllister guy.
All right. What do we know about these Quinns?
Sean Quinn has form for burglary in Broadmeadows. Reckon Gossie knew?
If you ever bothered to look it up.
Now, there was a brother there today. Let's see if he makes a mention. Rodney Quinn, known as Roddy, burglary, assault, theft of motor vehicle. These boys are crooks. McAllister got a raw deal.
So Gossie was right to be frightened of this pimply kid.
Hey, Benny, isn't it time that you and Jonesy went out on patrol? Yeah, Mr. Rocher, you want to...
Why do you not want to talk about Gossie?
Now, look, we can do that any time. This time of day, you might even see a kangaroo.
Oh, I have seen one. It is dead on the side of the road.
Well, let's find you a live one then.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, there's lots out Widgery way. Have a squeeze, eh?
Yes? Okay.
We're not going to be very popular reopening the case.
Well, you're the detective. You can investigate what you like.
Yeah, it's not exactly a vote of confidence in Tom's old mate.
Well, Tom doesn't have to know.
And it was here in the doorway?
Yes, and then he came into the room.
And that's when you hit him with the bat?
Yeah.
But where was it?
Under the bed.
Expecting trouble, were you?
I always expect trouble.
And you're sure it was Sean Quinn?
He made no attempt to conceal himself, cocky young bastard.
Did he take anything?
Just an engraved pen. Birthday gift for my daughter. Hadn't had a chance to give it to her yet.
Is that her?
Yes.
Like, does she live here with you, or...?
No, in Melbourne, with her mother. I haven't seen her since before her last birthday.
Why'd you move so far away from your daughter?
Seemed like a nice quiet spot.
Why would he take the pen and nothing else?
Probably the only thing he got a chance to take before I clobbered him.
Are you sure you weren't mistaken about the shotgun?
The bedroom door was open. Hall light was on. I could see it as clearly as I see you.
Well, it was the middle of the night.
I know what a shotgun looks like.
Well, why is that, Mr. McCuss?
I used to work in a bank in Elstonwick, and first time we were held up, it was like water off a duck's back, you know. Second time, not so easy. Third time, I lost it. And everything else. Wife, family, job, house, you name it.
Post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, that's what they call it. I was working my way through it, you know. I didn't need another bloody shotgun in my own bedroom.
Shotgun? Can't help you, sorry.
What about you, Roddy?
I don't own one either. And before you ask, neither does Mum or any of the rest of our family.
Planning a big night, boys?
What's it to you?
Nothing, provided you stay out of other people's properties.
Sorry, I don't follow.
Look, Senior Constable Goss may not have bothered checking your records, but I did.
Hey, I'd had a skinful. I was never going to rob Billy Joe.
Well, I'd like to take a look around the house, just in case the shoddy miraculously appears.
Gossy already looked.
Fine. But I'd like to take a look.
Mum?
What is it? What do yous maggots want?
They want to come and snoop around.
Got a warrant, have they?
Sure you'd like to cooperate?
Pigs, I would.
PJ, what's going on?
What's it look like?
Well, it looks like you're trying to barge into Peg Quinn's place. But this is my town, PJ. How do you expect me to maintain respect with you poking around, undermining me?
By doing your job.
I do my job. You've got no right to...
Parfait.
Where the hell did you come from?
No, 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 please, do not stop, do not stop.
Get that...
Gossy!
Mais qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Mais c'est cassé, putain de merde! Imbécile. He had no right.
You don't disagree with that?
Who does he think he is, this Gossie? It is lucky he's not broken.
Sometimes he just gets a bit carried away. I'm sure he didn't mean any harm.
Oh.
Hey, Ben. Hello? You were supposed to keep the frog off my back.
Sorry, he insisted on taking his own car because he wanted to smoke, and when he realised that we were going nowhere near Widgery, he just peeled off.
Fantastic. Wait, what did you do to Gossie?
Didn't take long.
Oh, no, I'm sure he didn't mean that.
Your phone conversation was with Senior Constable Goss.
He was, unhappy about one of his cases being reopened without being consulted. It seemed a fair enough complaint.
So you spoke to Senior Detective Hashem?
Yes.
This is a watering hole? I was expecting animals drinking.
Sometimes you wouldn't be too far wrong, mate.
G'day, fellas. So, what'll it be?
Oh la la.
Sorry, Chris Riley, Jean-Paul Rocher.
Enchanté, madame. Do you mind if I call you Christine?
No.
Oh,
Not at all.
it is such a beautiful name, Christine. And you know, we French, we appreciate beauty wherever we find it.
I hear that, Paris is very beautiful.
I live in Boston, but I could move.
Chris, if you're not too busy, we'll get a rum and mineral water, thanks.
So, what would you like, Jean-Paul?
Perhaps, Christine, we should celebrate our first encounter with a Kir Royal.
Is that what they drink in France?
Oui, but usually it is a drink for les amants.
Les,
Les amants. Lovers.
He's a copper. He's a bit lazy, a bit incompetent, but he's definitely not a crook.
Well, how do you know? I mean, he'd be sure he could get away with it because his old mate Tom Croydon would always cover for him.
Joe.
It's true. I mean, Gossie's an old friend. The boss wouldn't lay a finger on him.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Parish.
Look, I'm sorry, but he's done a half-baked job and been allowed to get away with it.
No one's gotten away with anything.
Well, it looks like it.
Do you, perhaps? It just so happens I've arranged to meet up with Gossie tonight to clear this up. See, you don't know everything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm running late.
Yeah, shut up.
Gossie? Gossie? There's no sign of him anywhere. The back door's wide open. Clearly there's been a struggle. There's blood over there on the desk as well as here.
What are we looking at? Murder? Abduction?
Well, why would anybody want to abduct Gossie?
Oh, and the front door was open?
He was expecting me. Anybody could have just snuck in.
What, somebody he knew?
Not necessarily. Obviously, he just made himself a couple when he was jumped.
Where does he keep his patrol car?
It's not there. I've already checked.
What, you mean they took him off in his own car?
Well, I didn't see any sign of any other vehicle.
Which means they came on foot so that it'd indicate a local.
The locals all love Gossie.
Don't worry, boss. Look, a patrol car's not going to be hard to find.
Have you tried the radio?
Of course I've tried the radio. No response.
If they wanted him dead, they would have left the body here. It's an abduction for sure.
But why? It doesn't make sense.
Well, it does if you consider the possibility that...
Come on, Joe. Let's door knock the neighbours, eh? Let the boss check Gossie's house.
Could he have had any more locks on his door?
Whatever happened to peaceful, sleepy Widgery?
One word. Gossie.
Huh? Criminal mastermind?
Well, first he lets a known crim get away with a burg, and now he's got himself abducted.
You did it on purpose.
Who is it?
It's the police.
Gossie?
No, it's Senior Detective Hasham and Constable Parish from Mount Thomas. I wonder if you could open the door, please.
How do I know you're real police?
What's wrong with these people? I'll hold my ID up to the peephole, okay? Can you read that?
What do you want?
You didn't hear or see anything out of the ordinary tonight?
No, my eyesight and hearing are both going. Sorry.
There must have been quite a commotion here earlier. We're concerned for Gossie's well-being.
Oh.
You did hear something, didn't you?
Yes, all right. There was a huge racket coming from next door, and I peeked through the front window and saw the police car driving off.
Right, and when was this?
About an hour ago.
Did you see anyone?
I didn't have to see anyone. I know who it was.
Twice in one day. Haven't you got anything better to do?
Where are your boys, Mrs. Quinn?
They're not here.
Where are they?
Haven't seen either of them since the Savo. Now, bugger off.
I'd like to come and have a search if you don't mind.
I do mind.
Mum?
Get back in the house.
What do you two want?
I'd like to have a word with you and your brother.
Yeah, Roddy's not home.
Why don't I believe you?
He's not. Tell him, Mum.
Why should I tell him anything, you buffhead?
We could get a search warrant.
Or we could have a quick look around and get out of your hair.
You bloody bastards think you can march in anywhere. Just keep your sticky fingers to yourselves.
Yeah, we'll be checking the spoons after.
Shut up, Sean.
All right, smartass. Let's see how many jokes you make down at the station.
Like I told you, I was just having a quiet night.
Yeah? But your idea of a quiet night include assault and kidnapping?
I never was on the telly.
Crap, Sean. Did you see Senior Constable Goss tonight?
Hey? Oh, you mean Gossie? Oh, let me think. Nah.
You didn't drop by the police station at any time tonight?
Yeah, sure, that's where I spend all my spare time, the cop shop. Where the hell is Gossie anyway?
That's what we're asking you.
What are you saying? Is Gossie got kidnapped?
We don't know. But he's disappeared.
along with your brother.
Roddy wouldn't do nothing to him. Gosh, he's a top bloke.
Where is your brother?
Said he had a party to go to in Broady.
Whereabouts in Broadmeadows?
I don't know, some chick's joint. Roddy might get his ending, eh?
I still don't understand who would do something like this. I mean, he's not the type to make enemies.
Well, he runs a pretty relaxed ship.
Well, Roddy Quinn's nowhere to be found.
You don't think they've got anything to do with this?
Well, from what we've seen so far, I wouldn't put it past them.
Kidnapping a member of the Victoria Police is pretty drastic.
But the Quinn brothers have been allowed to run riot. I mean, people in this town are living in fear, boss.
Oh, come on. What are you doing?
Nothing, just going through his running sheets.
This isn't a backdoor investigation into the McAllister matter, is it?
No, of course not.
Because we've got a member missing in serious circumstances. We can't afford to be sidetracked.
Sorry.
You should be more careful.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be snaking up on people.
So they're on a general broadcast out on Gossie, Roddy Quinn and Gossie's patrol car.
What about TRS?
They're on their way, so's Airwing.
Allô, où est Monsieur Gossi? Vous l'avez trouvé?
Mr. Rocher, if you wouldn't mind staying out of our way today...
Well, pretend I'm not here.
Yeah, just turn that thing off now.
But how am I to make my film?
You must understand that we've got a very serious situation here, and it is no longer appropriate for you to be filming.
But this is a great story, no?
No! A much-respected colleague is missing, feared dead, and that is not a subject for television entertainment, all right?
Air 495.
Now, I'll speak to the inspector if necessary, but turn that thing off. Widgery 900 to Air 495.
We have a possible sighting of your vehicle of interest.
There's blood all over the interior. It seemed to confirm our worst fears. Gossie! Gossie?
Margaret kidnapped me. Got away.
It's all right, mate. You're going to be all right. Here, come on, you better sit down.
Who did this to you?
Roddy Quinn. Bastard bashed me. He tied me up and left me for dead, Tom. I found myself in this shed when I come to, untied myself. I'm getting out of there when suddenly... There he is. He's come back with an angle iron ready to do me in for good.
An angle iron?
Well, I can tell you this. Fighting the old boy. Yeah, I wrestled it away from him and walloped him with it.
When was this?
I don't know. I must have passed out again. I come to when I heard the choppers and come looking for you blokes.
Please don't move! Please don't move!
Boss! Boss! Oh, Jesus. Have I killed him?
They're still operating on him. Gossie really quilted him. Fractured his skull, apparently.
I didn't know Gossie had it in him.
There's a tough old bugger. Let a lot. Needed a couple of stitches. Boss is bringing him back in.
We're not going to charge him, though, are we?
Ah, well, the inquiry, but it's a clear case of self-defence.
Well, if a guy knocks you out and kidnaps you, you're entitled to use a bit of self-defence.
If he's such a hero, how come he didn't investigate the McAllisterburg properly?
What is his running sheets are telling you?
Well, I've been right through them. There's no indication of him conducting any search at the Queen's.
Well, paperwork isn't exactly his forte.
Well, neither is making a basic inquiry. Just found a likely source for the shotty McAllister and Quinn used.
And?
Well, it's a shotgun registered to a Ray Quinn, now deceased, with no record of it ever being handed in.
Ray Quinn, what? Their father?
Yeah. I mean, the question is, why didn't Gossie run the same check and at least search for the gun?
Here he is, folks. The man of the hour.
Oh, Gossie.
Hey.
How you doing?
Oh, a bit sore, you know, but
Yeah.
all right.
You got a sec?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I had my head down on some paperwork. I got up to make myself a cuppa, and suddenly Roddy's there without so much as a by your leave. He's whacked me on the head.
So he drags you out to the car and you end up in the shed?
Yeah, bound and gagged.
How'd you get away again?
Well, Roddy's no Boy Scout. He couldn't tie a knot if his life depended on it. So I worked my hands free and waited for my chance.
Why?
Well, so I could escape, of course.
No. Why would Roddy kidnap you?
To stop us from reinvestigating the McAllisterburg.
Us?
Yeah.
Wasn't aware you were reinvestigating.
Of course. Why do you think I was working late at the station?
Gossie, you told us that you searched for a gun at the Quinn place.
Yeah?
Yeah. You never applied for a warrant.
Didn't need one. Peg Quinn agreed to let me have a look around.
Really? She told us to get lost, and that's putting it politely.
Yeah, well, you've got to know how to ask.
And you said that you hit him with an angle iron?
Yeah, that's right, the same one he was going to do me with.
Well, the problem is, when we searched the area, we couldn't find an angle iron.
Well, the thing is, you see, I wandered off and I must have thrown it away just before I passed out. So, it could be anywhere.
Was this iron bar ever found?
No. Gossie's got a problem.
Oh, yeah?
I don't believe him.
He was viciously assaulted. I was with him when they treated his head wound.
Yet it's the other bloke who's still in hospital.
It was self-defence.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, I am. He's a bloody hero.
Look, why would the Quinns go after him? Gossie wasn't a threat.
You're starting to sound like Parrish.
Well, maybe because she's right. Sean Quinn even called Gossie a top bloke.
Community relations are very important in a one-man station. If you'd ever run one, you'd know that.
I don't have to run a one-man station to know a lie when I hear one. And I'm telling you, Gossie is lying.
You've been wrong about him before.
Not this time.
Paige, someone here to see you?
Mrs. Quinn. Please, come in.
Not on your life. I'm staying right here.
What, is there a problem?
I know what goes on in cop shops.
Look, I just wanted to ask.
That lying little pig wanted to put a stop to our lawsuit against McAllister, so he bashed my boy.
Mrs. Quinn, if we could do this somewhere else...
Oh, you'd like to sweep this under the carpet, wouldn't you? A bloody Gossie was always victimising and intimidating my boys.
With respect, I find that very difficult to credit. I've known Senior Constable Goss for a very long time.
Oh,
It's
that's
not his
right.
style.
Stick up for him. He's had it in for my boys, Roddy and Sean, right from the start.
Look, if you have any relevant information...
Permanent brain damage. Is that relevant enough for you?
I'm aware that your son is still unconscious.
Let's call it by its proper name. A coma.
Perhaps you'd like a cup of tea?
No,
Mrs.
just get
Quinn?
away from me. That lying bastard. He bashed my poor boy, left him for dead, and then made it look like Roddy had kidnapped him.
So you took Mrs. Quinn's allegation seriously?
No, but Constable Parrish had a theory.
Well, I'm not saying he actually did the job, but what if Gossie had a deal with the Quinns whereby he turned a blind eye to their criminal activities in return for a regular payoff?
So Roddy was teaching him a lesson?
Yeah, scaring hell out of him to force him to toe the line in the future.
In which case, Roddy would have let him go in the morning. Nobody the wiser.
I mean, maybe it's no accident that Gossie walked away with a few steri strips and Roddy Quinn's in a coma.
Well, well, you two must be feeling a bit foolish.
Why would we feel foolish?
All that needless worry about Gossie. He could take care of himself, as it turns out.
Oh, we're just happy we found him safe and sound.
Imagine taking on that hooligan single-handed. Do you think they'll be giving him a medal?
I really couldn't say.
Well, they should. Meanwhile, you'll have to make do with
Get out of
this.
here, sniveling little bastard! I'll break the door in!
Oh, no, please, God, no! No!
Right, you asked for it!
Hey,
I wouldn't.
Gossie, it's Joe Parrish. You can come out now.
Mongrel.
Have a go at me, will you?
Oh, you're a big man now, 3 against 1, aren't you?
How does he think he is?
Different before you's got him.
Let me out of
Pissing
here.
his pants, he was. Huh?
You're such a bloody
Oh,
trap.
check him, they'll be wet.
Shut up!
Locked himself in the other room, he was so scared. What's the matter? Couldn't you find an iron bar?
I tried to get out, the bloody lock was sticking.
Oh, yeah, sure it was.
Why would I be scared of a two-bit lout like that?
Roddy never done nothing to deserve that lying pig dog done to him.
Lying pig dog. I thought you and your brother were big fans.
What of a cop? Give me a break.
Well, you called him a top bloke last night.
Yeah, that was before he bashed Roddy's head in.
Well, he says it was self-defence.
Crap.
What happened? Did Roddy stumble into the police station drunk? I believe you boys make a bit of a habit of that.
No way, he went down and seen that double-crossing little bastard. Now he's a bloody vegetable.
Double crossing. Are you saying Senior Constable Goss knew about your illegal activities and agreed to cover them up?
What illegal activities?
What, like the McAllisterburg?
What are you talking about? There's no McAllisterburg.
Then why did Roddy bash and abduct Senior Constable Goss?
You got it all wrong, man. It's the other way round. He bashed Roddy.
It's a big supposition based on 2 little words.
4 little words. Double-crossing little bastard.
It's hardly admissible evidence.
But it does warrant further investigation.
What? You want to call in the toe cutters based on the word of some scumbag crook?
Well, maybe we need more evidence.
Now you're talking.
Boss isn't going to like it.
You want him to get away with it?
Well, no.
Well, make up your mind, because there he is.
Glad I caught up with you two. Got something to show you in the back. I think you'll find it's registered to a Raymond Quinn. There's an old abandoned mining cottage behind the Quinn place. Found the gun underneath the floorboard.
Now you go looking.
Well, better late than never, eh?
So, why didn't you secure the scene and call for backup?
Well, I would have if I'd been thinking straight, but it's just whack on the head.
One of those poor misunderstood Quinn boys.
OK, I was wrong about them. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Gossie, I want to hear the truth.
OK, the truth. I knew Sean must have lied about what happened at McAllister's, and I knew there must have been a gun. But the question was, where? I'd already searched the house and come up with nothing.
So you remember the old abandoned cottage?
Well, nobody goes there, except Sean and Roddy.
Well, why didn't you look before?
Because I believed their story before. It wasn't until Sean went for me that I began to think it through.
You know what interests me most about all of this, Senior?
Well, I'm sure you're going to tell me, Constable.
The timing. I mean, you have this very public falling out with the Quinn boys, so first Roddy, then Sean, and now suddenly you remember where their shotgun might be hidden.
What's she trying to say?
She's simply pointing out an interesting turn of events.
You got to believe me. I never had any deal with the Quinns or with anybody else.
Who said anything about a deal? They're your words, not ours.
Never seen it before.
Well, that's interesting, because our records show that it's the exact same gun that used to belong to your father.
That never got handed in after he died.
Now, are you saying that your old man never showed you his gun?
Of course he did. Come to think of it, that might be his old one. Didn't recognise it. Haven't seen it since Gossie confiscated it last year.
Gossie confiscated it?
Pulled us up in Roddy's ute, found the gun in the back. Reckon we didn't have a valid licence for it.
Well, it's an offence for a convicted felon to possess a firearm. Did Senior Constable Goss mention that your brother would be receiving a summons?
No, he just took the gun. Now we know why, eh?
Why?
So he could fit us up, of course.
Oh, yeah. Why would he want to do that?
Because he's a pig dog oinker.
I suggest it may have something to do with the breaking of a deal between you two.
What deal? You want to know the truth?
That'd be nice.
He's trying to fit us up to get out of trouble for nearly killing my poor innocent brother.
But you both continue to believe that Senior Constable Goss had a cover-up deal with these Quinns?
Yes, ma'am.
What about you, Senior Sergeant?
I found it hard to reconcile with the man that I'd known for 30 years.
But you asked him.
Yes, I asked him.
And?
And he denied it. He seemed extremely concerned about this ESD investigation.
Concerned?
In a lather would be a more appropriate description.
I found the gun, Tom. I handed it over, but PJ's still gone and sicked ESD onto me on the say-so of that little lowlife.
There has to be an investigation. A member of the public has been seriously hurt.
In self-defence.
Self-defence or not. There has to be an ESD investigation. You know that as well as I do.
I'm going to get crucified.
The abduction story stands up, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
Then you've got nothing to worry about.
You don't think? With Sean Quinn accusing me of fitting him up.
Sean Quinn's story doesn't scare. Now, we've talked to Ross McAllister.
Oh, Billy Joe, spare me.
He's a good witness. And he's identified the shotgun as the one Sean Quinn pointed at him in his bedroom, which it wouldn't have been if you'd confiscated it 3 months earlier.
What if they say I lent it to them?
Did you?
No, of course I didn't. But I didn't follow procedure when I found it. Now there's no bloody chain of evidence.
Yeah, but in the circumstances...
Look, you don't understand, Tom. I can't have Monica Draper sniffing around. I can't!
What is it, Gossie? Is there something you're not telling me?
No, it's nothing like that. You know what it's like. One-man station, things are different. You're liable to get misinterpreted. It's their word against mine.
Look, if it's Sean Quinn's allegations you're worried about, let's get them sorted before Inspector Draper gets here.
Well, how are you going to do that?
Well, you never got a search warrant for their place, did you?
Well, as I told PJ, it wasn't necessary.
So, let's get one now.
Look, being a cop is all I've got, Tom. If they took that away, I don't know what I'd do.
Let's just get hold of this warrant, eh? See what we can turn up.
One silver pen, inscribed with the name Vicky, just like the one that went missing from Ross McAllister's house.
Never seen that before in my life.
We found it in your bedside drawer, Sean.
It was a plant. Gossie.
Gossie wasn't even part of the search team.
What's more, McAllister says you're in his house on the night of the burg.
This just confirms it.
Look, you go on, Sean. Do yourself a favour.
Do your work for you, you mean?
Call it what you like. Do you want us on side when this goes to court?
These allegations about Senior Constable Goss planting the shotgun, they're false, aren't they?
No.
We know you used the gun during the McAllister burg. Gossie couldn't have had it.
All right, but Roddy never kidnapped him. Right, that fat slug ambushed him.
Why?
Because he's running scared. He's lost control of the town.
Did you believe Senior Constable Goss had lost control of the town?
It's always a risk in a one-man station. You've got no backup. You rely on public cooperation sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, sometimes the power dynamic shifts. New family moves into town and challenge your authority. And when that happens...
Yes.
Well, there can only ever be one winner.
And in this case, the winner wasn't Senior Constable Goss.
I thought he was too experienced to let that happen. Too mentally tough. He just had a relationship breakdown. Not getting any younger. I blame myself for not seeing the signs.
When did you see?
Monsieur Rocher filmed an interview with Gossie.
Well, you've got to keep these young fellas in line. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yes, but this young man is in a coma. You cannot be happy about that.
It's not a happy situation. Sometimes you have to use the only language these louts understand.
Violence?
Sometimes you have to crack a few heads. Yeah.
I've known Ian Goss for 30 years. I've never heard him talk like that, never.
Perhaps in the past he was not so frightened.
Oh, that was more like aggression.
No. There is much fear in Widgery. And this little Gussie, he cannot control it. This is what my story is about. People say they don't want trouble. And I ask what sort of trouble. And they won't say. So I ask the hotel man.
Kevin Reardon, the publican at the bushrace.
Oui. He says he fears nothing because he pays for protection. A couple of slabs of beer, he says.
Who's he paying for protection?
This he will not say to me. But I can guess.
Yeah, so can I. Sean Quinn was telling the truth. His brother was ambushed by Gossie.
Don't you think he was that scared?
I think the Quinns were running the town and Gossie was terrified of them.
I knew we reopened the burg, so he would have been expecting a visit from Roddy.
So here's a few beers for courage.
Yeah,
Wait.
and lets Roddy have it as soon as he walks in the door, then sets it up to look like an abduction.
So what do you use for a weapon?
Well, not an angle line.
His asp baton. So we headed out to pick him up. Locked.
Still running scared.
Gossie! It's me, Tom Croydon. We knew it was a volatile situation. We didn't expect it to be fatal.
What's this? A super posse.
We need to talk, mate.
Mate, that's not good news.
Perhaps we should talk inside.
Please, do not be frightened. I am shooting.
John Paul, is that you?
Oui, c'est moi.
What's going on?
Oh, I asked for an interview.
Monsieur Rocher!
Elsie!
Give me the weapon, Elsie, is it?
He was going to shoot me. He had a weapon. I was protecting myself like you did, Mr. Goss.
I've just had Mr. Rocher's 74-year-old mother on the phone, trying to explain to her why her son is dead.
It's a bloody tragedy.
It shouldn't have happened. You were hiding in the police station while the Quinns were terrorising your town.
What was I supposed to do? Roddy kidnapped me.
Oh, you weren't kidnapped.
Who says so? Bloody PJ.
Your ass baton is on the way to forensic as we speak. We're going to find Roddy's blood on it, aren't we? Can you look me in the eye and say that isn't so? I thought not. Why did you thump Roddy?
Because he was threatening me.
What, because PJ had reopened the McAllister case?
No.
Why didn't you come and see me? Ask for help.
Not have my old mate Tom Croydon bail me out again. No, thanks.
So this is all about pride?
What, you think I haven't got any? All my career I've watched mates being promoted above my head.
I didn't think you minded. I thought you just...
Just as what? Just good old gossy? Of course I bloody minded. You remember what it used to be like when we first started out? Any problems, you could just solve them with a well-placed kick in the backside.
Those days are long gone. You should have come to me.
There've been too many shortcuts. Compromises. Had to deal with it myself. And the only language a mongrel like that understands.
He resigned as soon as he heard you were on your way.
You've laid criminal charges.
Hamburger with the lot. Not quite what he was expecting for his retirement dinner.
This can't have been easy for you, Tom. You're a very loyal friend.
Thank you. I think.
We did what had to be done.
Constable Parrish,
Mr. McAllister.
I just want to tell you, Sean Quinn is dropping the case against me.
Oh, that is good news. Actually, I've got something for you.
Vicky's pen?
Yeah.
But don't you need it for evidence?
Well, Quinn's admitted to stealing it, so I can give it back to you. But it's on one condition. That you go back to Melbourne and give it to her personally.
That I will. Thank you.
Constable Parrish, did I just see you giving away evidence?